check out our new merch store at www.ShotOfFactsPodcast.com, where you can find our merch with shirts dedicated to each episode you love. Check it out today and support a Shot of Facts merch. So let's gear over around the conversation and talk about your book, Hooded. So, what is Hooded about? What was your inspiration? And what do you expect the outcome from this book?
Yeah. So Hooded was really born through my experiences from graduate school, right? Some of those really hard experiences as well as really amazing experiences. It was born through my blog, Black Girl's Guide to Graduate School, that I started a few months after I graduated. And that blog was started because I wanted to share snippets of my journey to help others. And then as the years went on, I realized that there were so many stories that I wanted to tell, and I just didn't know how to tell it. And one day I was chatting with a friend and he mentioned to me, and I gave him one of the poems that I wrote, which is actually in Hooded. And he said, this is a great poem. You should actually write more of this. And I started writing, and I would pick up a chapter, write about it, and I'll put it down for months because I'll feel as if, okay, nobody cares about this story. Nobody cares about your everyday life in graduate school. Then I would do some type of mentorship, or I would review somebody's statement because I review personal statements for free. And I will feel motivated just through that experience and through that interaction with them. And then I'll pick it up again. And then I'll be like, okay, this is too much or too emotional, or I have to think about, you have to really relive what you've been through. And then I'll put it down again for months. So through that up, down, eventually that was the journey through Hooded. And eventually this year, I was able to finish it. So Hooded is about just the emotional stuff that I went through during graduate school. I talk about each year that I went through graduate school. I talk about year 1 through year 5. So you get it from as soon as I went in and had my first experience driving on the highway to upstate New York to the very last day of me walking on the stage. You get everything. So that is what it's about. And I think the next thing you asked me was, what was the second question?
What was the inspiration? Well, overall, I know it's from your experience, but was it any other inspiration that led you to write the book at all?
Yeah, so it was not just from my experience, but also because I saw a need for it. I feel as if there are so many people, and it really started because of when I realized how appreciative people were that I was reading their personal statements for free and reviewing it for free. And one of the things people say, oh, I wish I had more of this, or I wish I had somebody I could look up to. I wish I had a mentor. And you'd hear those things, right? And I remember I said to myself, I wish I had somebody who went through all these things I went through, who would be able to tell me what I'm feeling is okay, right? Validate my feelings, because I felt as if I wasn't allowed to feel that way, that I was supposed to succeed all the time, that I was supposed to be great, because everybody expects us to be great. You can't be not great. And I said, okay, there is really a need for this, and people need to feel like it's okay to feel that way. And I was about to kiss, so I didn't want to do that. But it's okay to feel like shit, basically, right? You're not alone in that shitty feeling.
Grad school was, I can say honestly, my experience, it was traumatizing.
Exactly. And nobody shares their traumatizing experience. I definitely didn't want to, but I thought so many people just observing and interacting with all these people just through mentorship and the opportunities that I get, I said, okay, if not for me, do it for somebody who is literally on the cusp of leaving and they need that extra encouragement and push to stay. And that was the other motivation behind it.
So my last question was, what was your outlook that you expect from the readers reading this and gaining the information in the book?
Well, for me, I hope that people really understand, as I said, it's about not just validating somebody's feelings and letting them know that they're not alone, because they're not alone. There are a tribe of people who are out there in the world who are going through this individually. We just haven't found each other yet. The other thing is I make sure I put some tips so that it's not just about me writing in my journal of Hooded per se, but I want you to learn these lessons. So one of the lessons I talk about is that living on a grad school budget is hard. And I talk about some of my budgeting woes and some of the tips. I give them some tips, like a simple tip of one of the things I wish I had done was start saving from early on, maybe even $20 a week, so that at the end of graduation, I could have just, I'm out, right? And I didn't give myself that opportunity to celebrate. I was able to do it a year later, but something that simple could have changed, just how I experienced that last month. And I talk about little tips like that and what tools you can use to basically improve some of the situations that you go through year after year, depending on the year. So depending on the situation, depending on the year, I have a different tip. So that's what I hope really people get out of it, apart from, of course, the feeling of I'm not alone. Oh, let me take some of these lessons. And it's been amazing to see some of the conversations that have already started. It's only been a week and already I've had people direct message me and quote some of their favorite quotes from the book, where I, talk about some of my feelings of being vulnerable, where I talk about mental health. And it's really amazing to see what's resonating with people and just how some of those experiences are also resonating with their experiences. So it's like parallel.
Yeah, I definitely think this book is great for anyone who is in college, who's thinking about graduate school, who was in it. Everybody, please support Hooded. Please get it. Please read it. It's out now. It's been out for a week.
It is. It is out now. It's been out for a week. It's, been on the bestseller for Amazon, which is good. It's still #1 new release, which is amazing.
And can people still get the autographed copies of it?
They can get the autographed copies on my website, malikagrayson.com. I only have a few left, so people need to get it soon.
Okay, well, overall, I want to thank you for coming on A Shot of Facts to talk about your experience on your journey to getting your PhD and also Hooded. But my last question to you is, do you have any last words of advice, recommendation, or encouragements for the listeners out there?
For sure. I want to tell people, and it's fun because me and my mom, we talk about this a lot, about letting your passion fuel you. And once you figure out what you're passionate about, then nothing feels like work, right? And while all of us, we can't find our passion right away, or we feel as if my passion can't pay my bills right now, right? Because my passion certainly can't right now, but my passion has really made me feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose. So I want people to really think about what you're passionate about and what you want to do, what you enjoy, because once you do that, then it's going to feel easier when you go through some of these challenges, when you go through these situations. Because when you're feeling challenged, when you're doing your passion, then it doesn't feel so much like a challenge and a failure. It just feels like, you know what, I love this and I can't wait to see how I overcome this challenge.
Definitely, definitely. And where can we find you? Social media, website, or anything?
Social media and websites and LinkedIn. So social media, my Instagram is Dr. Malika Grayson, Dr. Malika Grayson. My Twitter is BGG. So Black Girls Guide 2, the number 2, grad school. And then my LinkedIn, Malika Grayson, you just, look me up on LinkedIn and it's there. And my website, of course, malikagrayson.com.
Okay, and I'll make sure to add all of that in the show notes for our listeners and myself to keep up with you for the next Hooded 2 and put it into existence.
Put it in the universe.
Yes, but I am so excited to get my copy because I ordered mine. Did you guys do it already? Okay, I'm doing a call to action. Order it now. Get the autographed copy before it's over with. And
before it's sold out, get it now.
Before it's sold out. Get it now.
Special editions.
Yeah, and support. And overall, I just want to thank you again for coming out to the show.
Thank you for having me. This was fun. Thanks, everyone.
And with that being said, I will talk to you later.
Okay.